Imagine a ship so vast that it could carry 24,000 shipping containers, stacked 26 stories high, and sail across the Pacific without refueling. That's not science fiction, that's a Chinese-built megaship, and it's just one of thousands. China now builds more ships than the rest of the world combined, over 56% of global output, with 69% of all new orders. You're watching Mega Constructs, where we explore colossal builds from around the globe. Let's start today's journey. Introduction: the Invisible Empire. Imagine a city block, 3 football pitches long, stacked 26 stories high, floating on the ocean. Now imagine that structure carrying over 24,000 shipping containers, each the size of a lorry, across the Pacific Ocean. That is not a fantasy. That is a Chinese-built container ship, and it is just one of thousands. Every year, more than half of all the ships built on this planet come from one country, China. Not just small fishing boats or coastal ferries, but the largest, most advanced, most complex vessels ever to sail the seas. Giant container ships that can carry more cargo than entire freight trains. LNG carriers with fuel tanks so vast they could power a small city. And increasingly, green-powered vessels that are reshaping the future of global shipping. China's shipbuilding industry is the largest and most dominant in the world. In 2025, Chinese shipyards delivered 53.69 million deadweight tons of new ships. That is 56.1% of the global total. The country secured 69% of all new global shipbuilding orders, and by the end of the year, Chinese yards held an astonishing 66.8% of the global order book. To put that another way, for every 3 ships being built anywhere on Earth, 2 are being built in China. But how did this happen? How did a country that barely had a modern shipbuilding industry 50 years ago become the undisputed master of the seas? And what does it mean for the future of global trade, technology, and the environment? Let's find out. The rise, from fishing boats to floating cities. In the 1970s, China's shipbuilding industry was virtually non-existent. The country built small coastal vessels, fishing boats, and a handful of military ships. But by the early 2000s, something had changed. China began investing heavily in shipyards, technology, and workforce training. The government identified shipbuilding as a strategic industry, one that could drive economic growth, create millions of jobs, and secure the country's position in global trade. The strategy worked beyond anyone's expectations. In 2010, China overtook South Korea to become the world's largest shipbuilding nation. It has held that title every year since, now for 16 consecutive years. Today, the industry is concentrated in 4 major coastal regions: Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Shanghai, and Liaoning. These provinces are home to the world's largest shipyards, sprawling industrial complexes that stretch for kilometers along the coast. The largest of them all is the China State Shipbuilding Corporation, CSSC, a state-owned conglomerate that is, by some measures, the largest shipbuilder on the planet. In 2025, CSSC secured new orders amounting to 38.9 million deadweight tons, roughly 2.4 times more than the largest South Korean shipbuilding group. CSSC's order book alone would rank among the top shipbuilding nations in the world. And CSSC is just one of many. COSCO, China Merchants, Hengli Heavy Industry, and New Time Shipbuilding are all major players in their own right. The shipyards, cities of steel. To understand the scale of China's shipbuilding industry, you have to visit a shipyard. These are not factories. They are cities of steel, sprawling across hundreds of hectares, employing tens of thousands of workers. The largest yards have their own power plants, their own hospitals, their own housing estates. Take Jiangnan Shipyard in Shanghai, one of CSSC's crown jewels. This is a facility that builds some of the most advanced vessels on the planet, including the world's largest LNG dual-fuel container ships. Or Dalian Shipbuilding Industry in Liaoning, which leads the world in tanker orders and recently delivered the world's first methanol dual-fuel very large crude carrier, VLCC. Or Hudong Zhonghua Shipbuilding, also in Shanghai, which in April 2025 delivered the CMA CGM Seine, the world's largest LNG dual-fuel container ship. These shipyards operate around the clock. The sheer volume of steel they process is staggering. One large container ship can use over 80,000 tons of steel, enough to build 10 Eiffel Towers. The welding alone on a single vessel can stretch for hundreds of kilometers. And the workforce? At peak production, a single shipyard can employ over 30,000 workers, from welders and fitters to engineers and designers. The industry has also become more automated. Chinese shipyards now use robotic welding, automated cutting systems, and digital design tools that allow them to build ships faster and more accurately than ever before. In 2025, the average construction time for a large container ship was reduced by nearly 20% compared to just 5 years earlier. The giants, ships that defy imagination. Now, let's talk about the ships themselves, because these are not just big, they are impossibly big. Take the CMA CGM Seine, delivered by Hudong Zhonghua in April 2025. This vessel is 399 meters long, that is longer than 4 football pitches placed end to end. It is 61.3 meters wide enough to park a Boeing 737 sideways. It can carry 24,000 TEUs, that is 24,000 standard 20-foot shipping containers, stacked up to 26 layers high. And it is powered by liquefied natural gas, making it one of the cleanest megaships in the world. But the CMA CGM Seine is not the only giant. The Master of Science Arena, built by Jiangsu Yangzijiang Shipbuilding, is even slightly larger, with a capacity of over 24,300 TEUs. It weighs over 200,000 gross tons and is so long that it cannot fit through the Suez Canal without careful navigation. These ships are not just impressive for their size, they are also marvels of engineering. The hull design is optimized for fuel efficiency. The propulsion systems are among the most advanced ever built, and the navigation systems allow these floating cities to cross oceans with millimeter precision. Chapter 4: The Green Revolution, Ships That Don't Pollute. For decades, the shipping industry was one of the world's biggest polluters. The largest container ships burned heavy fuel oil, producing massive amounts of sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and carbon dioxide. But that is changing, and China is leading the charge. In 2025, China secured the majority of global orders for dual-fuel vessels, ships that can run on both conventional fuel and cleaner alternatives like LNG, methanol, or ammonia. One of the most notable examples is the CMA CGM Seine, with its 18,600 cubic meter LNG tank that allows it to travel 20,000 nautical miles, nearly the circumference of the Earth, on a single tank of gas. In December 2025, Dalian Shipbuilding Industry delivered the world's first methanol dual-fuel VLCC, very large crude carrier, for China Merchants Energy. Methanol is a cleaner-burning fuel that significantly reduces sulfur and particulate emissions. And in 2026, orders for even more advanced green vessels continued to pour in, with Chinese yards securing the vast majority of alternative fuel ship orders. The shift to green shipping is not just about environmental responsibility, it is also about economics. New international regulations are making it increasingly expensive to operate polluting vessels. Ship owners around the world are turning to China because Chinese yards have the expertise, the capacity, and the technology to build the green ships of the future. The orders, a tsunami of demand. The scale of Chinese shipbuilding is driven by one thing: demand. And in recent years, demand has been nothing short of extraordinary. In 2025, Chinese shipyards secured new orders totaling 107.82 million deadweight tons, a staggering 69% of the global total. By the end of the year, the country's order book stood at 274.42 million deadweight tons, up an incredible 31.5% from the previous year. And 2026 is shaping up to be even bigger. In the first half of 2026 alone, Chinese shipyards received orders for 1,131 vessels, accounting for 72% of the global total. In June 2026, China captured an astonishing 85% of all new shipbuilding orders. For the 15th consecutive month, Chinese shipyards ranked first in the global market. One of the most eye-popping orders came in December 2025, when the state-run shipping group COSCO, the world's largest ship owner, placed an order for 87 new ships with CSSC yards. The deal, worth a reported $7 billion, was one of the largest single ship orders in history. The vessels will be built across 6 CSSC yards, including Jiangnan, Dalian, and Guangzhou Shipyard International, with deliveries starting in 2027 and running through 2030. The infrastructure, the backbone of an empire. Behind every giant ship is a giant infrastructure network. China's shipyards are supported by an ecosystem of suppliers, engineers, and logistics providers that is unmatched anywhere in the world. Take the Hudong Zhonghua Shipyard on Changxing Island in Shanghai. This facility is a city in itself, with its own deep water berths, massive dry docks, and a workforce of over 20,000. It has built some of the world's largest LNG carriers and, in 2025, delivered its 100th large container ship. Or consider the Qingdao Beihai Shipbuilding Yard in Shandong, which leads the world in bulk carrier orders. In 2025 alone, it secured orders for dozens of vessels, with production scheduled through 2028. The yard is also at the forefront of China's push into green shipping, building some of the first methanol-ready bulk carriers. The shipbuilding industry also supports a vast network of smaller suppliers. Steel mills, engine manufacturers, electronics firms, and interior designers all feed into the shipbuilding ecosystem. When a ship is built in China, as much as 90% of its components are produced domestically, from the steel plates to the navigation systems to the furniture in the cabins. The people, the hands that build the giants. Behind all the steel and statistics are people. Millions of them. The Chinese shipbuilding industry employs over 2 million workers directly, and many more indirectly. These are welders who spend hours in confined spaces, crane operators who lift 100-ton sections of hull, and engineers who design propulsion systems capable of moving 200,000 tons of steel across the ocean. The workers are not just laborers. Many are highly skilled professionals who have spent years training in China's technical colleges. The industry invests heavily in education, running apprenticeship programs and partnerships with universities to develop the next generation of shipbuilders. The documentary Great Ships, Dachon Haldang, which premiered nationwide in China in early 2026, captured the human side of the industry. It told the stories of the workers, the engineers, and the families who have built this industry from the ground up. It is a story of ambition, sacrifice, and pride, a story that is still being written. And the pride is real. When a ship leaves the yard for the first time, thousands of workers line the docks to watch. They wave flags, cheer, and sometimes cry. They have spent months, sometimes years, building this vessel. They know that it will sail to ports across the world, carrying goods that will sustain economies and connect continents. And they know that they built it. The competition: South Korea and Japan. China's dominance is not unchallenged. South Korea and Japan remain significant players in the global shipbuilding market, particularly in high-value segments like LNG carriers and cruise ships. South Korean shipyards, led by HD Hyundai and Hanwha Ocean, are renowned for their advanced technology and efficiency. In 2025, South Korea captured around 20% of the global market, while Japan accounted for about 10%. But even combined, their market share is less than half of China's. The gap is widening. China's capacity is estimated to be over 200 times larger than that of the United States. In tankers, China's order share has grown from 32.4% in 2022 to 71.2% in 2024. In container ships, China now dominates the global order book, building the largest and most advanced vessels on the planet. The key to China's success is scale and integration. While South Korean shipyards focus on high-value niche segments, Chinese shipyards can build almost anything, from a tiny tugboat to a supertanker. And they can build it faster, cheaper, and in larger quantities than anyone else. The future: what comes next? So, what does the future hold for China's shipbuilding industry? If current trends continue, the answer is more of everything. More ships, bigger ships, greener ships. In 2026, the China Association of the National Shipbuilding Industry forecast that the country's shipbuilding output would surpass 60 million deadweight tons, a new record. The country's share of new orders is expected to remain above 70%, with South Korea's share shrinking further. But the industry is also looking beyond just building more ships. Chinese shipyards are investing heavily in research and development, exploring everything from autonomous ships to ammonia-powered vessels. In 2025, China launched its first fully autonomous cargo ship, capable of navigating without a human crew. And engineers are working on new designs for hydrogen-powered ships that could revolutionize the industry. The shipbuilding industry is also becoming more integrated with China's broader industrial strategy. The same steel that goes into ships also goes into bridges, buildings, and high-speed trains. The same engineers who design ships also design offshore wind turbines and floating solar farms. The shipbuilding industry is not just about ships. It is about China's vision for the future of industry, technology, and global trade. Conclusion: the masters of the seas. In just 5 decades, China has transformed itself from a nation of wooden fishing boats to the undisputed master of the seas. The ships built in its yards are the largest, most advanced, and most environmentally friendly vessels ever to sail. They carry the goods that keep the global economy running, from the latest smartphones to the food on our tables. But the story of China's shipbuilding industry is not just about ships. It is about a nation that made a strategic choice to invest in industry, technology, and education. It is about millions of workers who have dedicated their lives to a craft that is as old as civilization itself. And it is about a vision for the future, a future where the seas are crossed not by polluting, inefficient vessels, but by clean, autonomous, and technologically advanced ships that connect the world in ways we can barely imagine. China's shipbuilding industry is not just the largest in the world. It is a symbol of what a determined nation can achieve when it sets its sights on a goal. And it is a reminder that the future of global trade and the future of our planet will be written not just on land, but on the seas. Thank you for watching Mega Constructs. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world's largest shipbuilding industry, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Do you think China's shipbuilding dominance will continue indefinitely? Or will other nations catch up? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.